Rode came out with 3 huge announcements for live streamers this week at NAMM 2023. So let's talk about it. Now listen, if you've been under a rock last 3 days, then I'm sorry, but news has come out that Rode has released 3 new products that are really catered toward live streamers and content creators. So let's look at what they announced. First of all, let's start out with the Rode Podmic USB XLR dual dynamic podcast broadcast microphone. Now, I have the Rode Podmic, and this is probably my favorite microphone out of all the microphones that I have currently, except for I'm testing a couple that I haven't quite made my decision on yet. But this is the Rode Podmic. It retails for around $100, but it's only an XLR microphone, right? So pretty standard microphone, really heavy duty. This is my workhorse. So what they've done now is they've come out with a USB and XLR microphone. So you can use this for USB. If you later down the road want to get into an audio interface of some sort or a mixing device, then you can then use that for your audio interface, and you don't have to upgrade your microphone, and you're still getting a really nice microphone. The Podmic is very popular with a lot of podcasters, a lot of live streamers, and content creators in general. Probably, in my opinion, probably one of their most popular microphones out there. This was really hard to get when this first came out. So now they have this one. It's going to retail for $199. Why is it so much more expensive? Well, let's explain it. First of all, it's a dual USB and XLR microphone. Duh. You get headphone monitoring, but you get the Revelation preamp, which comes in their Rodecaster Pro 2 mixer. This is a 76 dB preamp. Ultra clean gain. Really nice. Very low noise floor. That comes with this. You also get their version of processing for compression, noise gate, that sort of thing, which we'll talk about here in a second. This also unlocks Unify. Unify is a mixing solution, and let me show you this real quick. This is Unify right here. Unify, I'm currently using with their XCM50 condenser microphone that you can probably the cheapest way to get into Unify if you wanted to use this, but this is basically a virtual mixer, very similar to how Elgato's Wavelink works. So Unify is really nice. And let me show you this real quick, because this is the Aphex processing that I was telling you about. This will come with Unify, then you could use with the Podmic. So you'll have noise gate, compression, and exciter to kind of give some air and a little bit of excitement through, gives you some saturation. And then you get a noise gate that you can then use for, trying to minimize any background noise when you're not talking. So that comes with this microphone. Really cool. Also, you get a bunch of different virtual inputs to this mixer, including system, chat, music, game, browser. These are all generated inside of Windows that then you could pinpoint software to then come into Unify. You also get 5 bus channel outputs that you can use for various things. Like you can use stream, and then you could send a stream mix to OBS. You can have a mix separate for your headphones, a mix separate for chat, a mix just for recording, or for a monitor mix that is separate from your headphones. So if for instance, I have my Focusrite interface here that has my studio monitor speakers plugged into it. I can also monitor this audio coming out of that, which is really cool. You also get sound effects such as air horn that you can send to various mixes using the sounds here. And it's just a really nice, clean piece of software that I think is actually, in terms of the UI itself, I think is even cleaner than Elgato's Wavelink. The only thing I wish it had that Wavelink has currently is VST support, but you do at least get processing with the XCM50 and the Rode Podmic which will soon be on the market, which is really nice. All right, so let's talk about the next thing that we will go through here, and that is the Rodecaster Pro, or the Rodecaster Duo. It is basically a dumbed down version of the Rodecaster Pro 2, and the dumbed down's really not doing it justice. It's really not dumbed down because it uses the exact same quad core processor that the Pro 2 uses, but you get 2 less faders, you get a couple less monitor outputs, but you get the same preamp, the Revolution preamp that, like we just talked about in the Podmic. You get that here. You get the Aphex processing that I just showed you in Unify, but that's all resident inside this. You don't need Unify to do all that. You still get the sound effects, very similar to what you get in the Unify, and you get these hardware faders, which are really nice. And of course, obviously your stream and monitor mutes, that sort of thing, your bus mute, and pretty cool little device. Let's look on the back of it. So you get a couple XLR combo jacks, so you can use this for XLR or instrument cables. You get a couple different monitor, 1/4-inch monitors for headphones, so 2 of those, and you get a left and right for speakers. So if you're using studio monitors, you can use that. Really nice. You get a couple USB-C inputs. This is for dual PCs live stream use, or if you want to hook up a microphone, a USB microphone, you can also use one of these for that, which also records. Now, this is what's cool about this is, and the Pro 2 for that matter, is that you can record natively to this using an SD card or using one of the USB jacks for an external hard drive. So you don't need a PC to use this. Say if you're in a hotel and you want to do a quick podcast or you want to do a voiceover or something like that, then you have this available. You don't need to plug it in anything. You just give it power, put in an SD card or an external drive, record, and you're rolling, ready to go. Really nice feature. This also supports Bluetooth devices. It supports pretty much everything you're going to need to either make content or do a podcast, which is really cool. It also has Ethernet, which is crazy. Pretty neat little device. Looks clean. I'm not sure about the build quality. I'm sure if it's like the Pro 2, it's going to be built great. But this is something I think a lot of people who are like Go XLR fans or have been looking for a replacement for Go XLR, this will meet their needs, I think, and it'll meet their needs quite well, because I think this is actually really a nicer unit than what the Go XLR is. But it comes in at a price tag of $500. So that's pretty expensive, but I believe that's what the Go XLR came out with. That was the initial price for it too. So we'll see what happens there. It's kind of expensive, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hoping it was going to be about $100 cheaper than that. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll come down in price here later. I doubt it, but we'll see. All right, and then the third thing, and we'll go up here and page here for that because I must have closed the link here, but this is Streamer X. Now, Streamer X is it's really a first, I think. I don't really think anybody's ever really come out with this, but it is an audio interface and a video capture all in one. B&H Photos blog post talks about this. This thing says it's going to it'll be able to use wireless mics, which is pretty crazy. The Pro 2 is getting a firmware update where you can use their wireless go-to microphone. You just sync it up and it works. It plugs in for its own specific channel. This might be to do the same thing, which would be pretty crazy. But it also captures video up to 4K 30, pass through up to 4K 60. I imagine that'll support 1440p, 120 FPS, probably 140p, at 144 hertz, pretty much like a lot of these cards are nowadays. They say it's 120, but it's really 144. You get a couple USB-C connections so that you can do dual PC, or again, if you're a single PC and you want to use a USB microphone, you'll have that there. This also is compatible with Unify. So that's how you're going to do your stream mix, is through Unify. It also uses Rode Central and the Rode Connect apps for different flexibility. It also has that Aphex processing, and it has on the back of it, you have that XLR combo jack. So this is going to have the Revolution preamp in it. It's going to give you that 76 dB of gain. Really nice. Here's your capture for capturing your video and pass through. This has a 1/4-inch headphone jack and also has an 1/8-inch TRRS for headsets, for microphones, which is really nice. So if you have a microphone like a headset like this, then you can use it there. Again, it uses a USB-C for power and a couple USB-Cs for data for your, like I said, for your PCs. And I think the one circled, that is where you would put your USB mic, if I'm not mistaken. So Pretty neat little device there. Curious about how it's actually going to be functional with the software, because you are limited by its size. You have a your microphone gain control, looks like your headphone and monitor. Here you have a page, and I don't know what that's for. It may be for your sound effects, for changing over the different pages of sound effects. We'll see what this is. Now this retails here on B&H, pre-order at $399. That's about what I thought it would be at. If you consider the price of, let's see, a Wave XLR audio interface that would give you access to wavelength software, you're looking at $159 on B&H. And then let's see, Elgato capture card. Let's see what there. The 4K Pro Mark II is $228. So when you add those together, you come right at the price of the Streamer X. So $399 is probably a fairly, I would say, pretty fair price, considering it works well and does everything that it says it's going to do. But knowing Rode, they don't put out crap. Rode is really one of the top companies in terms of audio, and now look like streaming devices. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty impressed with the XCM50. You know, for a condenser mic at this price that you get unified software with and the processing, I think it's actually pretty nice. So they're really starting to cater toward, you know, content creators and live streamers with more affordable products, but with the Rode DNA. So very, very cool what Rode has come out with. I'm very excited to see how well it does. So let me know down in the comments below, what are you excited about? Is it the Streamer X, the Duo? For I know a lot of people have been talking about the Duo since it came out. Or are you excited about the Podmic XLR USB microphone? Really cool, because, and that's another thing too, there's a lot of these companies that are coming out with these dual mics. A little bit of a war going on right now in that price range, which is really neat to see, because you know what, in the end, it ends up being better for us. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate you taking the time. If you're still here watching this video, then you're the dedicated few that I really appreciate for watching these videos and supporting the channel the way that you do. And I just want to say thank you. If you are new to the channel, then make sure you hit the like, subscribe to that channel. Please subscribe. That would be great to see you come back, and hit the bell for notifications so you'll know when I have a video that goes live. But other than that, thank you for taking the time to watch. I appreciate it. Have a great day. We'll see you later.